Hi everyone, AshCuber here, and today I want to teach you how to solve the Rubik's Cube. So the first thing we want to probably know is how the cube works and how it moves. So as you can see, there's 6 sides to a cube and each side has a different colour. Now, on a white side, it will have an opposite colour of yellow. The green side, opposite colour will be blue, and orange, opposite colour will be red. Now there's 3 different types of pieces to a Rubik's Cube. We've got the centre pieces, and these pieces represent the side where the colours belong. So this is white, blue, red. And these centre pieces will never move, they will only rotate. We have corner pieces, which have 3 different colours on them. So this one would be white, orange and blue, and it would sit in this corner here. And the last piece is an edge piece. As you can see, this one only has 2 colours and belongs in the middle of the corners, connecting the 2 sides together. The next thing you'll need to know is the notation on how to move the cube. So if you've got yourself a little Rubik's Cube timer, you'll probably see a bunch of letters and apostrophes, and this will represent which side we need to move and in which direction. So, if we're holding the cube facing us and we have the letter R, we want to rotate the right side clockwise. And as we do that, you'll see the right face turn clockwise as if it was facing you. If you have R with an apostrophe, it means R prime, which means we're going to turn the right side anti-clockwise. And the same again, if you look towards the right side, it will go anti-clockwise. And the letters represent different sides. So we've got R for the right side, L for the left side, F for the face, B for the back side, U for the upside, and D for the downside. If you're one of the lucky people to still have your Rubik's Cube solved, then you can follow along to the scramble which I'm going to provide in a second. If you're not and your cube is scrambled, no worries, just use this method on how to solve the cube and hopefully the end result will be your cube solved. So, we're going to do the scramble together. So the first one is L2. So the L is the left side and we're going to rotate it twice. Then it's U prime, so it goes this way. L is clockwise towards you. F is the face. D prime is D clockwise. L is towards you. U is upside clockwise. R prime, back prime, D prime, B2, R2, L2, U, B2, R2, D prime, F2, and U prime to finish off. So always have the white on top and the green in front when you're scrambling. And this is what your cube should look like. The first thing we want to do is make our white cross. And to do that, we're going to do something called a daisy. Now the daisy is made on the yellow side with our white edge pieces surrounding it, and when it's eventually finished, it will look like a daisy. So the first thing we need to do is keep our white on the bottom and our yellow on top. And we're going to be looking around the edge pieces along the side as shown. As you can see here, we've got a white piece on the side and we want to put it up to the top here. As there's no white piece at the top, we can simply rotate the white up and there's our first piece complete. And you can keep doing the same. So as you rotate around the cube, we see there's another one here, which is our orange and white. And this white belongs up the top here. There's no other white piece up the top, so we can move it. And as we've done that, it's brought a second piece up. But if we bring that white piece up here, it's going to push out the first white we placed in. So what you need to do to bring this white piece up to the top is find an empty space. So we've got two empty spaces here. We want to rotate one around to our right side where we can lift that up. And our final piece, as you can see, is here, and we can't move it up to the top in this position. So the way we need to do it is move this white to either side. So I'm going to move it to the left, and if I wanted to bring it up to this space here, again it's going to kick out a white already up the top. So just like before, you have to move your empty space round to that side before you can bring up your white. Now, if you have a white already on the bottom, it's nice and easy. Just make sure you've got an empty space on top. If not, it will kick out that piece. But remember, move the empty space where you want your white to go before lifting it up. And as you can see, we've now got our daisy. So with our daisy complete, we now want to complete our white side. So we've been looking at the white edges, which have two colours. So this one is white and green, white and orange, white and red, and white and blue. Now as you can see with the white and blue, it's lined up with the blue centre. So this side will all be blue when our cube is solved. So as our blue is matched up with its centre, we want to rotate the white, which is on top, twice around, so it then connects with its white centre, and then it will be in the correct position. And you need to do this with all of your edge pieces. So this one is white and red, and you should know the opposite orange is red, so it should be at the back. And we can rotate that round and then put our white piece down, and it connects together. And white and orange, rotate it twice, and then white and green, and now we should have a white cross, and all of our edges will be connected like so. The next stage is to complete our corners, and these have three colours. So if we were doing this corner here, it would be a white, red, and green corner. And we need to start looking for these corners on the top layer. So we've got one here, it is white, blue, and red. So we need to rotate it over the white, blue, and red space where it needs to go. And you're going to follow this simple pattern. So as our corner is in the correct position, we're going to keep it on the right side and follow this pattern. Now if you're lucky like me, it will already be in the correct space and the correct orientation where it needs to be. If not, keep following that pattern and eventually the corner will twist into the correct space. So this one is white, blue, and orange. We'll bring it around to our white, blue, and orange side, and we'll follow the same pattern. So as you can see, this time it's gone into the space, but it's not rotated around correctly. So we'll just keep repeating the pattern until it completes and we have another corner done. So this one is white, red, and green. So we'll rotate the cube around till we get to the red, green, and white side, and we'll do that pattern until our corner goes in the correct way. There we are. So now our white side should be complete after you've done all four corners. You should have a band of colour, and all of your centres should still be matching with your edge pieces. So now we've done our first layer. The second job we need to do is complete our second layer, which is inserting the four edge pieces around the bottom. We still want to keep our white at the bottom and our yellow side on top, and we need to look for our edge pieces with no yellow. So the one we've got in front of us is the green and red edge. So the green is on the side, and we want to rotate our cube around until we match it up with our green side. Now on top is red, So if we look for our red side, which is on our left, we want to turn our edge piece away. So now our red is on the left side and our edge piece is on the right side. And this edge belongs in this space here. To do that, we're going to take out our corner using the same pattern we used to place our corner in, but on this time it's going to be on the opposite side. So we placed it in on the right. We're now going to use the same pattern but on our left side, so it's just mirrored. So we want to go L prime, U prime, L, U. Now that's kept our edge piece in the same place and brought out our corner onto the top. Now we rotate to the red side and we place our corner in using the pattern we used earlier. And as you can see, it's placed our corner in and it's taken the edge in as well, and we now have a block complete. Now what we need to do is look for more edge pieces without the yellow. So yellow, yellow, perfect. Red and blue. So we rotate our cube around to red, as the red colour is on the side. Blue is on top. Again, blue is on our left side. So we want to turn it to the right, away from the blue. And we want to follow this pattern to bring our corner out with our edge piece there still. Rotate the cube to face the blue side and that pattern to place our corner in. Now we've got our first and second edge in, and we've got another edge. So this one is orange and green. So we want to rotate to the green side, and this time it's orange, so it belongs here. So we want to rotate our edge piece opposite to our orange, which is now on the left side. And we're going to do exactly the same as what we've done for the last two, but we're going to mirror the patterns we need to do to complete it. So we're going to go R, U, R prime, U, which will take our edge piece to the same place and take our corner out. Rotate to our orange side and go L prime, U prime, L, U, which will then place in our third corner piece in the correct spot, and nothing else on the cube should be out of place. So we've got one final edge piece here, which is our blue and orange piece, and it's at the back. So orange on the side, blue is on the right, so we're going to rotate our edge piece away to the left. R, U, R prime, U prime, to keep our edge in place but take our corner out. Rotate the cube on the blue side, L prime, U prime, L, U, to then insert our final edge and complete our first two layers. If you're trying to solve your edges and you've got your white side complete and you've got your corner in place but your edge is flipped the opposite way, you can do exactly what we've done already, and it will take your edge piece out, ready to do that pattern again, and keep the corner in place. So I'm going to do this on the right side, so we'll take our piece out and we'll put our corner back in. And as we've done that, it's taken our edge piece out and kept our corner in place. So we can just line up our edge piece and do the same thing to rotate it and put it back into place. So now we've got our first two layers complete. We want to concentrate on completing our yellow side. Now there are going to be three different cases which you may come into, and we're going to go through them all. But the one I have on the cube at the moment is the little L. So ignoring all the corners, we want to orientate the edge pieces. As we have two edge pieces in place already, we've got a little L in the corner if we ignore the corners. If you have this case, you need to follow this pattern. So it's F, U, R, U prime, R prime, F prime. And what it will do, ignoring the corners again, is orientate all of our edge pieces so we have our yellow cross. If you don't have that, you may have a single line, in which case you want to follow this pattern. Fairly similar. It's face, R, U, R prime, U prime, F. And again, ignoring the corners, we've got our yellow cross. If you don't have the line, you may have a single dot, in which case you do one of these patterns which you've already learnt, but you do it twice. So we go F, R, U, R prime, U prime, face, and now you can see we've got our little L, so we'll go face, U, R, U prime, R prime, face prime, and that will complete our cross. So now we've got our yellow cross complete, we want to orientate or rotate our yellow corners so we complete our yellow side. And we're going to use one pattern to do this, and if you've seen my OLL algorithm patterns already, you may know it. Now OLL stands for orientating last layer, and there are 57 patterns to complete the yellow side. We're going to use one of them, and here it is. You want to make sure a yellow corner, if you have one, is in the bottom left, and follow this pattern. Now as you can see, it's changed our pattern on the top, but we still have a yellow cross. If you come to this pattern with two corners opposite, the quickest way is to place a yellow piece facing you. So we're going to have this corner empty, and this will take you to the case where we'll solve our yellow side. So we'll complete that pattern again, and now we have a cross with one corner, and this is a type of soon case, and what we need is our yellow edge piece to be here. So as we have our cross with one corner, we'll complete the pattern again, and we've got our cross with a corner again. If we put the corner into the bottom, we've moved our yellow corner to face towards us. Now if we do that pattern one last time, you should see it completes our yellow face. So now we've got our white face done, our first layer, our second layer, and our yellow side complete. The last thing we need to do is our last layer, orientating our edge pieces and orientating our corners. So if you are lucky like I am and you have a pair of headlights at one side where two corners have the same colours on one side, you want to place that at the back, and you want to follow this pattern. And what that should do is set up all the corners matching on one side. Now if you weren't lucky like I was to have a set of headlights at the side, don't worry, just complete that pattern and it should give you one side with matching colours, and just do that pattern again. If your cube looks like mine, where you've got your white side complete, first layer, second layer, yellow, and your corners are orientated, then you're only one or two algorithms away from completing your cube. If your cube looks somewhat like mine, where your corners are completed and you have one side, what you want to do is put the completed face to the back and look at your edge pieces. So we've got green and red, orange and green, and red and orange. So our edge pieces need to rotate around like so. If this is the case, you need to follow this pattern. There we are. Cube is solved. If that's not your case, but your cube looks somewhat familiar, where you've got three sides with corners and different colour edge, and one face is complete, but your edge pieces need to rotate the opposite way, you need to follow this pattern. and then your cube should also be complete. If none of those cases look familiar, but this is the case where all of your corners are orientated correctly, but none of your edge pieces are in the correct space, all you need to do is do one of those patterns twice. And what will happen is it will complete one side, and then you'll just have to look at where your edge pieces need to rotate. So in this case, they're going around this way. And once you've done the second time, your cube should also be complete. So, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you learn how to solve the Rubik's Cube fairly quickly. Remember to like and subscribe, and keep enjoying. Bye bye.